Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Mago with the Midday News. The headlines. Campaigning gaining momentum for the first phase of assembly polls in Gujarat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses rallies in Verawal and Dhoraji. 53rd International Film Festival of India all set to open today with a colourful ceremony in Goa. The 27th UN Conference of Parties COP27 agrees to establish a special loss and damage fund. Voting underway for general elections in Nepal. A few hours from now, football's greatest show, the FIFA World Cup, starts in Doha, Qatar, and the second T20 cricket match between India and New Zealand underway at Mount Maunganui. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that a double-engine government is necessary to decide the golden future of the country for the next 25 years. Mr. Modi was addressing an election rally in Verawal today. He said his government has worked to empower citizens, farmers, youths, women and fishermen and brought policies to empower them. The Prime Minister highlighted various welfare schemes of the government like free LPG connection, toilet facilities, Ghar Ghar Nal Se Jal and Ayushman Bharat.
આપણે ગુજરાતમાં મોટું અભિયાન ચલાવ્યું હતું કે દરેક શાળાની અંદર દીકરીઓ માટે અલગ શૌચાલય હોય જેથી કરીને મારી દીકરીઓ કોઈ ભણવાનું ન છોડે અને આજે મને ગર્વ છે કે આજે મારી દીકરીઓ ગુજરાતની ભણી ગણીને આગળ વધી રહી છે અને ગુજરાતનું નામ રોશન કરી રહી છે. ભાઈઓ બહેનો, આ આપણી પ્રગતિ થઈ છે.
Mr. Modi said that the BJP has always worked for the development of the country and the common people. Mentioning Gujarat's successes in areas ranging from tourism to startups, the Prime Minister called upon citizens to teach a lesson to those political parties who defame Gujarat. A report from our correspondent.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi started his election campaign today with a visit to Somnath Temple. Mr. Modi is also the president of Somnath Temple Trust. Political observers describe that this is for the first time in the history of Saurashtra, so many rallies of a Prime Minister are being held in a single day. After addressing a rally at Dhoraji in Rajkot district, PM is scheduled to address two more public meets at Amreli and Botad during the day. In this three-day election campaign, the Prime Minister has mainly focused on Saurashtra region, which is considered the key to power in Gujarat. Saurashtra has 48 assembly constituencies and BJP had suffered a setback in the region in 2017 elections. With Sanjeev Sharma from Verawal, Aparna Khund, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Later, addressing a rally at Dhoraji in Rajkot district, the Prime Minister said, Gujarat is booming in all sectors today and time has come to take a leap forward to make the state prosperous in the coming 25 years. Mr. Modi said the Saurashtra region was facing a severe water crisis 2 decades ago, but thanks to the series of efforts by the BJP government, the waters of the Narmada River have reached Saurashtra, which ended water scarcity in the region. The 53rd International Film Festival of India, IFE, will begin in Goa this evening. The opening ceremony will be held at Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium near Panaji. A total of 280 films from 79 countries will be screened during the 9-day event. More from our correspondent.
25 feature films and 20 non-feature films will be screened in the Indian Panorama section, while 183 films will be part of the international programming. Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award will be given to Spanish director Carlos Saura at the opening ceremony. France is the spotlight country and 8 films will be screened under the country focus package. One of the Asia's oldest film festivals, IFE, will open with Austrian director Dieter Berner's movie Alma and Oscar. Goa Governor P.S. Sridharan, Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur and Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting L. Murugan will be present on the occasion. Ashok Shukla, AR News, Goa.
World Fisheries Day will be celebrated tomorrow in Daman. The celebrations serve to focus on changing the way the world manages global fisheries to ensure sustainable stocks and a healthy ecosystem. The Department of Fisheries is celebrating the event to create awareness on importance of healthy ocean ecosystems and sustainable fisheries. The government will award the best performing states and districts for the past 3 years in this regard, and an exhibition and technical sessions will be held for technology transfer. In the Kashmir Valley, 3 hybrid terrorists were arrested by Indian Army and Srinagar police in the outskirts of Srinagar city today. Police informed that a huge consignment of 3 AK rifles, 2 pistols, 9 magazines and 200 rounds were also recovered from the possession of the arrested hybrid terrorists. The University Grants Commission UGC has finalized the framework for the 4-year undergraduate program that will be implemented in all higher education institutions from the upcoming academic session 2023-24. The rules for these courses will be shared with all universities next week. The 4-year undergraduate program will be implemented in all the 45 central universities and most of the state and private universities from the next academic session. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The 27th UN Conference of Parties COP27 today agreed for establishing a special loss and damage fund. Confirming the agreement for creating a loss and damage fund, the COP27 in a tweet said, history was made today at COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh as parties agreed to the establishment of a long-awaited loss and damage fund for assisting the developing countries that are particularly vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change. The delegates at the COP27 applauded after the loss and damage fund was adopted after days of negotiations over the proposal. Negotiators and non-governmental organizations stressed that the fund was a significant achievement. Welcoming the decision, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that COP27 has taken an important step towards justice.
This COP has taken an important step towards justice. I welcome the decision to establish a loss and damage fund and to operationalize it in the coming period. Clearly, this will not be enough, but it is a much-needed political signal to rebuild broken trust. The voices of those on the front lines of the climate crisis must be heard. The UN system will support this effort every step of the way.
The closing plenary of the 27th session of the Conference of Parties COP27 was held today at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. The conference which was held with a view to building on the previous successes and paving the way for future ambition, concluded with countries coming together to take action towards achieving the world's collective climate goals. Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav made the intervention at the closing plenary and termed it as a historic COP, where agreement has been secured for loss and damage funding arrangements, including setting up a loss and damage fund. He welcomed the inclusion of transition to sustainable lifestyles and sustainable patterns of consumption and production in efforts to address climate change in the covered decision. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will pay a 2-day visit to Cambodia on the 22nd of this month. Cambodia, as the chair of ASEAN Defence Ministers Plus meeting, is hosting the 9th annual meeting at Siem Reap. Mr. Singh will address the forum on 23rd November and also call on the Prime Minister of Cambodia. India and Cambodia will co-chair the maiden India-ASEAN Defence Ministers meeting presided over by Mr. Rajnath Singh to commemorate 30 years of India-ASEAN relations. Various initiatives to boost India-ASEAN partnership are planned to be announced during the meeting. The Defence Minister will hold bilateral discussions with his counterparts of the participating countries. During the talks, Mr. Singh will discuss defence cooperation matters and ways to further strengthen the mutually beneficial engagements. Voting for general elections in Nepal is being held in a single phase today to elect 275 members of the House of Representatives for both parliamentary and provincial assemblies. Polling began at 7 in the morning and will continue till 5 this evening. All results of the elections are expected to be out by December 8. Chief Election Commissioners from India, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Maldives are taking part in the election process as international observers. Chief Election Commissioner of India, Rajiv Kumar, is leading the Indian delegation. Football's greatest show on earth, the FIFA World Cup, will be off to a glittering start in Qatar capital Doha today. 32 top countries from 5 regions will be in action for the championship title. The opening ceremony will be held at the Al Bayt Stadium in Al Khor at 7:30 p.m. India time. In all, 64 matches will be held across 8 stadiums in Qatar. South Korean boy band BTS's Jungkook would perform Dreamers, while Black Eyed Peas, Robbie Williams and Nora Fatehi would be among the other performers at the opening ceremony. The host nation plays Ecuador in the opening match today at 9:30 p.m. India time. The FIFA World Cup this time assumes importance in the wake of the fact for the first time the tournament is being held in a West Asian country and also the first time that it is being held in winter. The earlier editions were held in June and July. A report from our correspondent Raina Haroon.
FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar has a lot to offer. For the youngster, it might be the last time to see the football legends like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar in action at the World Cup. Among other familiar faces set for a World Cup farewell include 39-year-old Brazil's Dani Alves and Portugal's Pepe, 38-year-old Thiago Silva, 37-year-old Luka Modric, 36-year-old Manuel Neuer, Oliver Giroud, Luis Suarez, Edinson Cavani and Hugo Lloris, who are all 35, may be in the same position, with the France striker Karim Benzema, Spain midfielder Sergio Busquets, and Poland forward Robert Lewandowski, all 34 years old, and Germany forward Thomas Müller, 33. The list of players potentially appearing on the world stage for the last time. FIFA has announced that beer sale will be banned at the 8 World Cup stadium in Qatar. FIFA said the decision would ensure the stadium and surrounding areas provide the enjoyable, respectful and pleasant experience for all fans.
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has left for Doha to represent India at the inauguration of the FIFA World Cup 2022 beginning today. During his visit, the Vice President will also interact with the members of the Indian community. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had spoken to the Amir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, on the 29th of last month and conveyed his best wishes for a successful conduct of the FIFA World Cup 2022. The Union Ministry for Women and Child Development today launched training modules for the Child Welfare Committee and protocols for repatriation and restoration for children in New Delhi. The aim of the program is to provide training to members and officials of the Child Welfare Committees and District Child Protection Units for effective implementation of juvenile justice rules in the country. The training program was launched on the occasion of World Children's Day by the Secretary of Women and Child Development, Indivar Pandey, and Chairman of National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, Priyank Kanungo. Speaking at the event, Mr. Pandey said India needs standard protocols and uniformity in juvenile justice rules for child protection in the country. For the first time since the COVID pandemic struck, in Mumbai registered single-digit caseload in a day yesterday. The city registered 8 COVID-19 cases, which is the least number of cases in a day in the last 32 months since the pandemic struck the globe. The city has been registering double-digit cases for the past 1 month. Meanwhile, there has been a rise of cases of measles in the city, mainly among the children. The BMC is planning to open a special children ward for measles in a civic-run maternity hospital in Govandi area of eastern part of Mumbai, where the cases are predominant. In our bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow, we will bring you a live discussion with Arun Singhal, Secretary of the Department of Fertilizers, on various topics concerning the fertilizer sector. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on topics related to One Nation, One Fertilizer scheme, availability of fertilizers in the country, uses of nano urea and nano fertilizers, and other queries. In the second T20 cricket match, Surya Kumar Yadav's unbeaten century helped India to set a target of 192 runs for New Zealand at Bay Oval Ground in Mount Maunganui. For India, Surya Kumar Yadav scored 111 runs, while opener Ishan Kishan scored 36. For New Zealand, Tim Southee took 3 wickets, while Ferguson took 2 wickets. Host New Zealand won the toss and opted to bowl first. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Campaigning gaining momentum for the first phase of assembly polls in Gujarat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses rallies in Verawal and Dhoraji. 53rd International Film Festival of India all set to open today with a colourful ceremony in Goa. 27th UN Conference of Parties COP27 agrees to establish a special loss and damage fund. Voting underway for general elections in Nepal. A few hours from now, football's greatest show, the FIFA World Cup, starts in Doha, Qatar, and the second T20 cricket match between India and New Zealand underway at Mount Maunganui. And with that, we end the midday news.